They told him he wouldn't make it, that going in solo was suicide. But when the dust settled, 15 enemy soldiers were down and he was still standing. No reinforcements, no contact with command. Just him, his weapon, and a mission he refused to abandon. What started as a recon op quickly became a battle of survival, precision, and silent dominance. This is not fiction. This is the untold story of a lone American warrior who entered the battlefield alone and came out a legend. The mission was simple, at least on paper. A quick in and out to gather intel deep inside hostile territory. But plans never survive first contact. The unit faced heavy delays and the insertion point became compromised. Command called for a retreat, but this one soldier, a veteran operative with over a decade of experience, knew that pulling back meant more than a failed mission. It meant losing vital intelligence and putting future lives at risk. So he volunteered to proceed alone. With nothing but his custom-built sniper rifle, a combat knife, a ration kit, and years of battlefield instinct, he crossed enemy lines under the cover of night. No GPS, no drones, just his mind mapping every tree, hill, and sound. The first 10 hours were pure silence, not a single enemy contact. But deep inside, he knew it was only a matter of time. Then, just before dawn, 2 enemy soldiers patrolling a ridge came into view. Most would wait, hide, but not him. With one suppressed shot, the first fell. The second turned too late, he dropped. And the lone soldier melted back into the trees like a shadow. That was only the beginning. Over the next 24 hours, he eliminated scout after scout, not with brute force, but with patience, positioning, and perfect timing. The enemy began to sense something was off. Their radios buzzed. Checkpoints increased. Still, he stayed ahead of them. He never took the same path twice. He'd hide in plain sight, wait for the perfect moment, and strike when least expected. He turned their confidence into confusion and their numbers into chaos. By hour 36, they launched a full search party. Drones scanned the skis. Dogs were deployed. But he used their own aggression against them, planting decoys, false trails, and setting up traps. In one instance, he baited 6 enemies into a narrow valley and took them out in under 3 minutes from a concealed perch 400 meters away. His body was pushed to the limit. Sleep was stolen in 10-minute intervals. Food ran low. But his focus never wavered. Every breath was measured. Every step had purpose. And still, he moved forward, closing in on the objective that now became personal. At the 48-hour mark, the final engagement unfolded. Surrounded on 3 sides, cornered in what they believed was a kill zone, he made his stand. But they didn't know he had already calculated this. He had memorized every rock, every angle, every echo in that space. What followed was a display of tactical brilliance, smoke, diversion, silence, then shots clean, efficient, deadly. In minutes it was over, and 15 enemy soldiers were no longer standing. When the dust cleared, he emerged from the shadows, wounded but alive. The extraction team found him exactly where he said he'd be at the exact minute he promised. Mission complete. No words, just nods of respect. What drives a man to walk into hell alone? What gives him the strength to keep moving when the world around him says stop? For some, it's duty. For others, it's legacy. For him, it was both. This was more than a mission. This was proof that one soldier with enough training, courage, and heart can change the battlefield.